Okay, welcome back. Topic of today is arrogance. One of the things I've noticed a lot of is arrogance. Now, I have taken the last 8 months to sit down and re-reflect like I did the first 365 days, and I still haven't even covered all of those topics. I just took the topics that were most pertinent at the time and close to my heart and examined those. Now, with this, I I went through the last 8 months and I wrote up my cards and I I shortcut a lot of things. So if I'm ever like reading something and then all of a sudden say I have no idea what I was thinking, that's why. Previously, when I did the 365 days, and I don't know, my nose has been itching for like a week, so apparently I'm going to kiss a fool. Maybe I'm just the fool. I don't know. So forgive me if I itch my nose. Anyway, um, there's probably going to be times I'm going to be clueless on what I was thinking at the time I wrote it, because the first time I wrote everything very in depth, like a full out journal. This time I kind of shorthanded my thoughts because I was going through a lot of trauma and used this to kind of distract me in a way, knowing I wanted to come back and do some final videos. So I picked some things that were important to me and just wrote. This time it was more just topics that came to mind. Arrogance was one of them that really stuck out to me, meaning I've run into a lot of arrogant people lately. So what I have defined arrogance as is the act of covering for the lack of self-confidence. I find people who are acting arrogant and better than thou, some family members that I know of that behave this way, um, just don't have the confidence in themselves. They don't believe in themselves enough to be humble. They are not humble people. They think they are better than you in every way, shape, and form. And I honestly get a kick out of them. I'm not even offended by them. I just sit and I go, I'm just going to watch this charade because this is crazy, unbelievable that this person really thinks this much of themselves. It's like, just go with it. Let them have their moment of glory, I guess, that they think they need. They're very vain. They have to be noticed and recognized by people all the time. Like, they have to be I wouldn't even say really center of attention, because there's a lot of people that like to be center of attention, but it doesn't make them arrogant. These people will speak louder. They have to be noticed. They have to be heard. They have to be right. And like, oh, please. I mean, the type of people you just let them have the floor and walk away, but don't, when you run into these kind of people, don't absorb anything they say. Don't, because what they usually have to say is something that's going to serve them and not you, okay? So people who seem to be too much in the spotlight, goody two-shoes, or have to look too good, or have to be the best at everything, there's a layer of arrogance that comes with that, meaning they're trying too hard to cover something. So recognize that through the recognition they feel they need from you. They constantly need that pat on the back. They need that affirmation, that confirmation that they're right. They're right. Even though they believe what they're saying, they need you to tell them they're right. If you don't agree with them, they're going to go off on their high horse, and you'll never get away from them. They will hunt you and hound you until you agree with them. They are not wrong, no matter what they say, even though they will leave the floor open asking you your opinion. They don't want your opinion. They believe in only what they think, and that's it. That's how arrogant they are. They think they're like a mini god. Okay, like they created the earth or something. They get angry if they're not getting what they want. So they do have a flip switch. Like I just said, if you're not like agreeing with everything they say, oh, they're going to go to soapbox, they're going to be angry, they're going to be temperamental. And if you continue to debate with them, they will eventually hit the point of degrading you. Okay, and it will almost seem narcissistic, but I don't believe they're narcissistic. They're just arrogant. Okay, they're just filled with that much, belief in themselves, but they also have a lot of self-loathing. So watch out with that. For that, they will self-loathe like nobody's business. They need to be admired by everyone. They can walk a fine line of being a narcissist. I do believe every narcissist is arrogant. Okay, so, arrogance is part of their quality. However, not everyone who's arrogant is a narcissist. So it's watching the definition of what a real narcissist is, because a narcissist is abusive. Somebody who's arrogant isn't necessarily abusive. They just have some anger management issues and some vanity issues, I think. So there's a big difference between the two of them there. Overall, I'm not a doctor, but I've dealt with enough arrogant people that I would say are just arrogant, not narcissistic, that I don't think they really believe in themselves. If you really watch them close enough, when they speak, when they talk, when their body language, it's like there's a full lack of self-confidence, a full lack of self-esteem, even though they look in the mirror and they tell themselves they look so great. They have to have constant affirmation, and that's from the public as well, because they don't believe in themselves internally, deep down inside. Something's missing. That and they could have been bullied and they never got over it. And for example, I'm not arrogant, but I think I am. Maybe I am. Somebody tell me if I am. I don't see it. Because I was bullied. When people tell me I'm beautiful, it's like I tell them, I can't believe that. I spent over 12 years hearing how ugly I was and how unwanted I was, that even to this day, when someone tells me I'm beautiful, I'm just like, yeah, what do you want? Because that can't be true. So you must want something. You're just kind of like filling my ego to get what you want. So I do believe maybe deep down in their soul they have some type of issue like that. Not all of them, that's just my example. Some issue like that where they just haven't come to terms with it, or they don't want to accept it. So they put on a level of arrogance so that they don't have to review it or go back and deal with it at all. They're constantly putting on a show. They'll act and act and act until they believe their very own lies. And ultimately, their lies are that, it's not necessarily a lie. Like, we can look at them and we can say that, we do think they're handsome or they're beautiful or something like that. Deep down inside, they may not believe that. So they have to keep acting out until they can believe it themselves. And I don't know what that's going to take. Like I said, I'm not a therapist, but I do think anyone with a level of arrogance probably needs a little therapy, because there's something deep underlying that they're not dealing with, that they have to put on such a show for society and stuff. So I don't deal with arrogant people well. I find it humorous, that you have to behave that way, and that you can't be humble and down to earth and, okay, everyone knows you're beautiful or everybody knows you're smart. You don't need to show it off. Just be humble and grateful for those qualities and gifts, and work with others, and then others, can attain those things too, because they'll feel more personable with you. So if they have something they connect with you on a personal level, you're more likely to have a better influence in society than acting vain and like a know-it-all. Okay, that's just my suggestion. Alright? Just an observation of life, basically. What I've pulled from the Bible for this one is Romans chapter 12, verse 3. For by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, not to think of himself more highly Sometimes I can't even read my own writing. I'm going to start this over. For by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. I'm winning this one. There's no arrogance here. This is just humility. I'm going to start over again, and I don't edit my videos, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. This is my life. Thank God you don't have to live with me, right? Anyway, Romans chapter 12, verse 3. For by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned. So, beautiful, right there. We're not supposed to think of ourselves as if we're any better than anybody else. Vanity, arrogance is not in God's law. As anyone who does know the Bible knows, there is a sense of humility that we are supposed to be humble. And I'd like to see more of that in society than us trying to show off and be better than the other person. I don't know. That's what I would like to see. If you agree with me, comment below. Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe so we can grow our family here and have a bigger audience. Thank you. Love you. Bye.